Hello, this video is about have to and should and the ways we use them for obligation. First of all, for passing on an instruction, that's when it comes from somewhere else. And then secondly, for making a suggestion, but more than a suggestion, a strong one, so I'll just write strong there. Hope you enjoy it. We'll look at have first, and here's a picture to help us. You'll see in the picture that the sign is the same as the one we used in Obligations 1. Hard hats must be worn on site. But now here's one worker saying to another worker in a more friendly way the same official message. He's saying, and I'll write it here, you have to wear a hard hat. You have to wear a hard hat. He's speaking as a friend, not as an official, not as a boss, not as a lawyer, but as a colleague or a friend. And that's the difference really between must and have to. Must is more official, more legal, and have to is more friendly, more equalitarian. Right, let's move on to the next one. Here's another picture, this time of a young man and a boy at the seaside, and the young man is saying something to the boy. He's saying, and I'll write it here, you don't have to go in the sea if you don't want to. You don't have to go in the sea if you don't want to. Now the difference there is that the top one, you have to, is obligation, and the bottom one, you don't have to, is no obligation. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. Now let's move on to should, which is more of a suggestion. Here's a picture of a woman speaking to a very young man. And what's she saying? I'll just write it here. She's saying, you should go to bed earlier. It's a strong suggestion, and she can also express it in the negative. You shouldn't stay up so late. You shouldn't stay up so late. It's a strong suggestion, and not exactly an instruction, but close. Now let's move on to the following morning, where we see the same woman with the young boy. The young boy is looking very sleepy this morning, and she notices that, and she says, I'll write it in here, you're falling asleep. And then I'll write the next thing that she says, you should have gone to bed earlier. So she's using should have for something that she wanted to happen, but which didn't happen. All right, let's look at them again. First of all, you have to. That's an obligation. I'll just write obligation there, but it's a friendly one. Must is more official. Now let's drop down to the one below. You don't have to. That's no obligation. I'll write that in. It's optional. Do what you like. Now the next one, should and shouldn't. That's a suggestion, but it's a strong one. And finally, should have, the sad one. The wish, the desire that didn't happen. The wish that didn't happen. That's always rather a sad one, really. All right, that's all. Bye for now.